Well, here we are. You're watching Season 9 of Soundwaves TV. I am Chasta, and I'm so thrilled to start off Season 9 with an old friend. We just realized it's been like at least 8 years, I think, that you've been in the Soundwaves family. It's Eddy from Sweet Undertow. Cheers, my friend. My God, it's been way too long since we've seen each other.
Yeah, same.
And I am so freaking stoked about this new album.
Yeah.
Dennis and I have been doing the countdown. And he sent me a text, and I will quote. He said it was simply GD sublime. I'm not going to say GD. My mama will kill me. But that sentence coming from Dennis, who you have to understand, is like, he's a connoisseur of music. Like, he is a rock snob, if you will. And I mean that with all the love in my heart.
He'll tell you if he doesn't like it.
He will. He will. So it was really, really a high compliment. How does that feel to hear about your baby that's about to come out into the world?
It feels great. It was like, we didn't think that we were going to ever pull this off. And like, by hook and by crook and with a cast of thousands, we managed to do it. And it just feels great.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. When did this journey for this particular album start?
So it started like pretty much right at the beginning of COVID when we finished recording the last one.
Right.
It was the first day of the lockdown that we finished in the studio. And so it was like all of a sudden the bridges were closed and stuff. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And so we did all the work to record that record. And at the same time, you know, once you finish something, like everything else starts to sort of like, you know, the little shoots start to come up, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I like how you put that. I remember when you released the single Country Blues last year.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. Well, first of all, when I just saw it at a glance, I went, because you never cease to amaze me with where you go in your musical journey. And so country was like, oh, I'm surprised. No, I'm not really surprised. But then I heard the lyrics of the song. I was like, oh my God. It's GD Sublime. But tell me about Country Blues, because it's being a country girl born and raised.
Yeah.
Don't live there for a reason, by the way.
Yeah.
That song really hit home to me. So tell me about it.
I love country music. You know, when I first heard Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
It changed my mind.
I was about 3. So I feel you on that. He's my first great love. I get it. Yep.
And so, you know, I was living out in the country, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, I really should just blow my effing head off.
Ugh.
And then I was sitting there for a second, and I was like, that's pretty funny.
Which is why I love you. If you can't laugh about it, okay? None of us are getting out of here alive, for God's sake.
Right?
I mean,
you know,
keeping it real.
So it was kind of like, after that, I was sitting around, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, I would really love to be in a room where everybody else is singing that same thing along with me.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting thinking to myself, like, man, I love country music so much, but you know, sometimes I'd really prefer to be in like Brooklyn, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, what if there was a country song, and it wasn't about how nice a small town is, and it wasn't how nice it is to be out in the countryside, and it was about, you know, maybe it's pretty nice to be in like the Mission District or something. Yeah. And so that's
the irony of it is just so great, because it is what you expect when you start that song. You're like, okay, we're in that mode. We're in that country feels good mode, and then you come out with that line about blowing your head off, and I remember like spitting out my coffee the first time I heard that. I was like, oh, that's so brilliant. It's so good.
Well, that's what they say, you know. I mean, like all these comedians and stuff that you hear, they're always talking about how, like, you know, they're depressed and, oh, in my neighborhood and blah 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 blah. And like, I think they're onto it, that like when you're like in a really dark place and you're thinking about bad stuff, it's actually kind of funny. At least that's what I discovered.
Yes, know? I love your sense of humor, your dark sense of humor. You don't know this little fun fact about yourself, but I use you as an example in my life all the time.
Me?
Yes, you. Whenever anyone asks me about doing interviews, they say, like, what's the key to doing interviews? And I always say, listen. And I give the example of when I was interviewing Eddy from Sweet Undertow, I had sort of these things I wanted to ask you, and then you went off on this really cool, brief little tangent about writing a song on a bus in another country. Yeah. And I was like, if I had just barreled through my questions and totally not listened to that moment, I wouldn't have picked up what a cool, eclectic, different kind of guy you are. And you took me on a journey because I listened to you. So you helped me teach people how to do interviews, which is all about listening. And here I am yammering.
Wow, that's what we do. We're pals, you know?
Yeah, but it's, I mean, you're a very deep soul. You see life differently, I think.
Well, I mean, there's a block, and I think I might have been around it a couple of times.
You-
I didn't
and
mean
then
to.
some.
I didn't mean to.
You rattle off some of the places that you've lived in. Your life.
Yeah, so I lived in Ukraine, a couple of different places. I lived in India. I lived in Singapore. I lived in Eugene, Oregon.
Right up there with Singapore and Ukraine.
I lived in Vietnam. I lived in Ho Chi Minh City.
That's the one we were talking about.
That was a lot of fun.
It's incredible life that you're living. It goes after the gypsy in my heart for sure.
Well, sometimes you just got to ramble. But I mean, like, you find these places, like, I think in San Francisco for the first time in my life, I set down a few roots out in the Mission. And so, like, the time has since sort of gotten behind my back a little bit, but I still make it out to the Mission quite a bit, as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm sort of like half in the Sierra Mountains and half in New York City these days.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun.
I bet. This is the best of both worlds.
Yeah. New York City is wild.
It is wild and so different from the Sierras. We have to talk about the Sierras because your new video for Step Lightly is remarkably beautiful.
You like it?
Oh my God. Are you kidding? I mean, it is the Sierras. She gives you her best. I mean, it's like you're literally filming in a painting, right? But the song next to that canvas is so breathtaking. It's a very vulnerable tune.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about where that came from?
Yeah. So Step Lightly, I was sitting, it was about 2:00 in the morning, and I was looking out the window and it was raining, and I was watching the trees, and when it rains and the wind blows, they're all sort of like wobbling back and forth, and I was pretty deep into my cups at the time. And I was alone, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, and then all of a sudden, like, I realized that, when at nighttime, when you're looking out the window, it becomes kind of like a translucent mirror. And all of a sudden I saw myself, and I was just like, because I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And it just sort of got me thinking about, like, life and love and what people do to each other. And it made me really think about it for a moment, about how, like, when, all the time people will go up to somebody and they'll take their heart out of their chest and they'll lay it right at the other person's feet. And for the most part, people don't even notice, and they just stomp on it and walk away. And it's very lucky in a person's life that somebody even knows it happens, and, people fall in love and the whole thing works. But for the most part, we're just stepping on each other's hearts all the time. And,
you see what I mean? Like, honestly, that's such it's a beautiful thing to think of. And I love the depth that you have. As a man in 2026, you show emotions and vulnerability, you write it out, you put it out in the world. I think there needs to be a lot more of that. And
I'm tough and drink whiskey.
Oh, I know that. So, cheers to that, brother man. See, that's what we call well-rounded. That's how that is. See, there's a juxtapose. Whiskey and vulnerability. Sierra Nevadas, New York, right? You're all about, like, the black and white, the left and right. I love that. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Tell me about your New York life.
Oh, man, it's a lot of fun. And it's just all imagine. Late at night. And I ended up, I was playing this gig, and my drummer, it turns out his partner, his wife, was in the first band I ever saw in concert in Chicago at this place called the Fireside Bowl. Yeah, she was a bass player. And so I was this little kid, like, looking up on the stage and being like, wow, that's so amazing, because they accidentally lit the ceiling on fire.
Oh, God. Oh, my Lord.
And nearly burned the place down. It was pretty rad.
How old were you at this time?
Oh, I don't know, 14, 15, something like that.
Wow.
And, we were all going out to see the punk rockers and stuff and hang out and be bad. But, she shows up at the gig with her bass, and she's like, I want to sit in. And I was like, hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Come full circle moment.
Yeah. And I ended up hanging out with the rest of the band later on. And it was just cool because, like, they're great musicians and real people and, like, fun to play with. And, like, it was just a neat thing. The band was called the World Inferno Friendship Society.
Wow, that's quite a name.
Oh, they were cool.
That's cool. I got to look them up.
Yeah, they're great.
Would you say that, like, I think people think of New York as such just a giant city, right? And so it does make you think, is there a community of musicians that live inside that? Are there bubbles that you find in the different boroughs? How does that work?
That's a good question. So I think in Brooklyn particularly, there's just, like, a bunch of people who love to play and are great at playing and are down for the cause too, that's the tricky bit. I feel, like, welcomed and, like, people are kind in a way that like I didn't expect, because you always hear about
New Yorkers tough, yeah.
But no, they're cool, man. They're really nice. This drummer dude Isaac, all these guys are like, these musicians are all over the place and they're great.
Yeah.
But because it's so big, there's like all these different kind of little things you can go into.
Little pockets. Yeah.
Yeah, the jazz musicians, man.
Oh
man, they're
jazz
nice.
I've seen in New York is next level.
Every night. It goes to
3 a.m.,
Yeah.
4 a.m. That's the best. Almost missed my flight doing that one night, but it was well worth it. Well worth it. It's funny because in New Orleans, I have a place in New Orleans, and
sick.
it's amazing. And the community is a very small group of musicians who all play. There's like 100 musicians in New Orleans. Like that's a joke. Like they're all the same people, and they just jump into each band, and they kind of roam the streets, and they pick up a whatever, and they play with whoever, and it's just so beautiful to see. That kind of like, there's no ego, there's no BS, there's none of it. It's just like you said, down for the cause.
One of my favorite recordings ever is the Rebirth Brass Band off the record Hot Venom.
Yes.
Version of Casanova on that
Oh
one.
my God, yes.
The unexplicated
Yeah,
one,
yes.
where they're saying the.
Yep.
It's so good. It's
I
so
have that on
good.
vinyl on my You're speaking my language now.
Oh man.
Do you go to New Orleans very often?
I do. I just got back.
Okay.
I was playing out there and it was super fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, the vibes are great. I feel like I live in this world where there's this archipelago, and I'm hopping from island to island to just like, just sound, you know?
Yeah.
And all people who are just like down to play and down to hang out and down to just make the magic happen.
Yep.
And it's just a wonderful thing, you know?
Your spirit is what picks up all of those people all these years, and you get to like,
I don't know.
keep all that.
It must be, I guess. It must be
is.
something.
You're a whole damn vibe, dude.
Hey, you know?
Eddy is a whole damn vibe.
Well, we're building a movement.
You are.
You know?
You are. Sweet Undertow is a movement.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled. This album, Days Without Names, coming
Without
out in a
Names.
couple of months from now.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, you have a new single coming out like very soon.
Yeah, Jesse Lee.
Okay.
So this is a song. It's really fun to play, and it's I've been working on it for probably about 8 years until I really figured out what the song was all about. It's not like a tricky song per se.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it just takes a while sometimes to really figure out what's trying to be happening inside of a song, and so like it was hard, and I was like picking at this song and I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'd set it down and I'd come back, but because I knew there was something there. But yeah, you know, and it's fun and it's light, you know, and that was the whole thing. It's tricky when you're writing songs to make them light and not too heavy and not too full of too much stuff. But I love that song.
Yeah. Oh, I love to hear that. I hope I'm gonna quote Chuck Prophet. Dennis, help me out with this. Talks about wrestling a song to the ground. It's one of our favorite quotes because I have a feeling that's what the song was for you. It sounds like you were just trying to like get there.
Our girl fought back.
Yeah. I love that. Also, on this album, Lose a Fight, that was a song that Dennis had sent to me. He was like, oh my God, you got to hear that. Fantastic. The woman
thanks.
singing on that.
Yeah.
Who is she? Phenomenal.
Yeah. So that's this woman, Essa Baloo. And
Incredible name.
she's great. She lives in LA. I think she's from maybe North Carolina or something originally. But anyway, she's super cool. And like I met her and it was just like, oh man, like we got to do a thing together, you know? And there's this song that's it's an elegy for a friend of mine, Barkley, who he didn't make it. And, you know, I just wanted to have something in there that was beautiful because like, I don't know, I try to be beautiful, but man, having that voice, like, you know, like there's an angel coming in. It's just like,
it is. It takes your breath away.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
She's great.
Yeah. I mean,
she's got her own records. Go check them out.
I definitely will. Now that I know her name, say her name one more time.
Essa Baloo.
Essa Baloo. I've definitely never heard of that before. Okay, I do have to ask you on a personal level. I saw something on your Instagram that it was last year, I think almost a year ago, and I was like, what is happening? You were playing in an operating room while people were getting surgery done in Guatemala.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How does that happen?
So
Only to Eddy from Sweet Undertow.
I became pals with these couple of doctors. One's Dennis Siegler and the other's Michael Melantine. And they were like, they go on these mission trips. So these doctors, like, and they're like, they take their vacation.
Right. And they go work on people for free.
Yeah, these villagers. And the villagers walk for like days to get there up in the mountains in Guatemala, which is like, which is a pretty, you know, there's a lot of poverty, a lot of suffering in that part of the world, I think. And they go down there, you know, 6 or 8 times a year to go do free surgery for the people, right? And so people will come with like their mom. Yeah. They'll come with their baby. They'll come, you know, and they'll wait because, you know, there's a line and surgery takes time and sometimes, you know, it takes longer than others. And so people will be sitting around waiting. Their kids are there because you got to bring the whole fam, and the kids are getting squirrely and all this other stuff. So like from time to time, they'll bring down musicians. Yeah. And they brought down me.
Mind blowing.
Perhaps against their better judgment. But it's cool. So it's like for a week or 2 weeks, I'll be down in Guatemala just like walking around this hospital complex, like finding groups of people who are waiting and be like, hey, you guys want to hear some music?
Like, how crazy is that?
And they'll look at each other like,
who are you?
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. It's a blast.
I love it. I saw there was a video you posted, and it blew my mind to see that.
So the docs down at this hospital in Guatemala were like, hey, Eddie, you know, while we're doing some surgery, why don't you come in and play some tunes? And I was like,
is that legal? Like, can I do this?
I was like, okay. So I got my guitar, got scrubbed in and everything, and went into this operating room, and they are legitimately like chopping people open and doing the doctor thing. And I'd never seen that before in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you were like maybe, I don't know, 8 feet away? Like nothing.
And so there I am just going for it. And the doc's like, this is great, Eddie, keep it up. And they're
somebody's
like,
just laying their guts out. Like, that's so crazy.
Oh man, they're like pulling stuff out. Oh my God. Look at this one, you know? And it was for.
I have to say, if I ever have surgery, you need to come play the room.
I want you there. I'm available for hire, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever having surgery and you want to make sure.
Oh my God! If my open heart, you know what? But if something goes awry on the table, I would absolutely love to have one of my favorite musicians playing me out. I mean, honest to God.
Cheers,
right?
Chasta.
Seriously.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Is that a yes? Will you do that for me?
Anytime.
Okay,
you know?
Good. That's an incredible story. I just love you, man. I am so happy for you. You're such a good soul, and this album is just going to be a gift to everybody. And I cannot wait.
So. I'm glad you're liking it. I mean, like, I love this record. I think it's so much fun. And it's like, it was so tricky to pull together, but luckily, you know, there's a bunch of really killer musicians all over this record, and Charles Newman, my friend who produced it, he did a really killer job, and it was just like, you know, it was this cast of thousands that came together for this thing. It wasn't like
it was meant to be like that. Maybe it took time, right? But it was meant to be this sort of stew of musicians that all needed to give their goods to this.
Oh yeah,
you know, some things are written in the stars like that.
Yeah. No,
see, I can be freaking whimsical too. I can keep up with it.
Whimsy, you say?
All right, check them out. It's Sweet Undertow across the board. Single coming soon. Which single? Jesse Lee.
Jesse Lee.
And then the album in 2-ish months.
Yeah, something like that. Like early June should be out.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. I'm glad we got to introduce you. If you hadn't met him on Soundwaves, because it's been far too long, he's coming back sooner than later. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.